Hi everybody, welcome. It's Scarlet Pete's Self-Sufficiency Machine Knitting Series, and I'd like today to share with you the boxing and unboxing and setting up of a ribbing attachment, namely the Brother KR230. This one's just about to go off to its new owner after having a nice clean and service, and I'm just going to shoot a video to show you what you should see in the box and how to set up. Let's have a look then. Obviously we're going to hopefully have an instruction manual. We've got the ribber, which is what does the knitting. We've got the ribber carriage, but there's some other very important things that come in the box. These are the most important thing as a starting point, are the clamps. These we use instead of the clamps that our machine already has holding it to the table. These set the angle of the machine so that we can now take the ribber. These are quite specific to different machines. There's different angles for different machines, so check you've got the right ones with yours. The ribber's up there already. We've got the instruction book. Here's the carriage. It should all be nicely moving and working. When we have special weights that come with the machine that are held onto our new cast-on combs, because the ribber has to have its very own type of cast-on comb. This is where the yarn can be hooked, and these are where the weights hook. There's two types of weights, the heavy ones and the lighter ones. This isn't a weight, though it looks very similar. This is your racking handle, and this goes in this hole here. Let's push it in. And you see now it's just twisting. That's not in far enough. You need to push it till it clicks. It's then operational and it will move the bed for us. And we've got the pitch and the half. Another important thing we need is a way of securing the ribber onto the bed. And this comes with these little roller clampy things. These go into the end of the machine bed, left and right, that's on the top bed, so that that's screwed in, and then your ribber, let's show you here, has these little brackets. And the brackets and the clamp and the, I think they're called a setting plate, that ribber slips onto that, and this is fixed onto the machine and screwed down. And that's what your ribber hangs off of. There's a left and a right, and that has a little L and R on it. We also have a different sinker plate. This joins the two carriages, the ribber and the standard and the top bed together. We've got some other bits and bobs here for different things, and we have this little angle poise thing. This goes on to change the direction or the angle of the tension masts. All important double eye transfer tool. We've got some 7 shaped side wires that take the weights. Let me just get a weight out to show you. They clamp in on the side of our work. When the work gets too long, we need to distribute the weight a little better. Let's push that in there so we don't lose it. We've got some other bits and pieces. We've got a different comb for pulling out and choosing the needle selection. We've got some more weight options. We've got a very useful tool to catch drop stitches. That goes between the beds like that, catches a drop stitch and pulls it up. Put all these safe. And hopefully we should have 2 different cast-on combs, a short one and a full length one. And hopefully the whole thing comes in its original box like this one does, with its instruction manual. And inside the instruction manual you should have a complete parts breakdown, carriage, ribber bed, connecting arm assembly, the pressers, the clamps, the needle stoppers, yarn tension stand as I call it there. Let's see, everything. We've got our screwdriver, everything's in here. This one doesn't have a case. I've never seen a case come in the ribber. We've got the setting plates, that's got those. So this one is only missing the case, which, as I say, I've never seen come with my ribbers. And I haven't got a cast-on cord, but those are easy enough to get. And we may not have the spanner kicking around. We might. Let's have a look. So let's put the machine onto the table and show you how that needs to be set up so we can then put the ribber on the front. We've got the KH230 here. We've taken off the original table clamps. We've got the spanner ready. We've got one of the brackets because I know the other one's in the machine. And we've got the new table clamps. So that's all we need in the first place, including an appropriate table, to get this machine started to be set up. Let's get this onto the table firstly by putting the appropriate clamps on the table. I like to put the clamps onto the machine first, then slide the machine onto the table. This is how you fix them on. They should be flat with the bed and tightened up nicely. There's a pin and the screw to fit in, and then I'm just going to slide it along until the clamp will go onto the table, pushing it on and tighten back up these clamps. On the right here we already have the little setting bracket fitted, setting plate. On the left we're going to do it ourselves now. So first thing we need to do is locate the space, which is here. Take out the screw, like that. Make sure the L is on the left side. Slip it into the hole. You see? Put the screw back in, making sure not to cross it. And when we set it, we want this little lip here to be up against the metal. We're going to tighten it with our fingers. Then we're going to take our screwdriver that comes with it and tighten it enough so that we don't bend the little screwdriver. It's just tight. Check both sides. Good job I checked this. It's loose. So let's tighten it up. That's it. Now then, we need to make sure that the carriage is without its original sinker plate, with no sinker plate on. Pick up the ribber and marry it up to the brackets that we just fitted. Slid it into those brackets there, and this side is the movable side. You see how it slips? This side is fixed. So now I can hold it with my left hand, push it till it's in the right place. I've got my knees underneath just in case I need to catch it. And there we go. It is now in and in the right place. We want to check that the racking handle is on P and on number 3. This means the beds should be opposite each other, and the needles, each side of 0 pushed out, will hit each other dead square on. If they're not hitting each other, there's a place to alter it here. You undo these screws here, just a little, enough to get the bed to move a bit, and you can just knock the bed from left and right, then retighten when it's in exactly the right set position. Next job. Grab one of the old clamps, come to the side of your machine and knock down the arm here. And on the arm it's got a little clampy bit, that's a little bit that sticks out. That doesn't need to go on top, that needs to go flush with the table, and then we're going to fit the clamp on the inside, holding down around the table, holding it to the right place, and then tighten up. One side done, now to the other side. Arm down. Make sure we're fixed together here. Make sure the little lip is against the table. Lip down and against the table, locked. Clamp put in place and tightened up. When the table and the clamps are all set up properly, here we have a left and right, see it's got R written on it, little lever that we press down. I always support the bottom and press down, and it will allow from the weight of the ribber to drop down. 2 notches. There we go. And this little tiny bit here is the piece we can pull with, is what I find. To pull the ribber from left and right for that fine adjustment if we need to set it up. Let's go check the other side works fine. Finger on the base, ease it down, push it up. We now have the ribber attached to the machine and ready to play with. Let's get the ribber carriage put on. Here's the ribber carriage. Nice, clean, a simple carriage. Hold it like this. This point here, that plastic and the metal L, or well, it's almost a U, isn't it, or a J, that is going to clip on to the runner at the bottom here, in there. Slide it along, and to get it to lock on, you have to pass these protruding nuts, because those stop the carriage flying off. To take the machine carriage off, you need to tilt it and come along, past them. See? Take it past them. To get it to go on, push it on, and then push it against the machine. And we have that same lock here at the edge. Sometimes they come loose, so make sure they're tightened. Time to put the two together. So let's put the handle up, put them almost opposite each other. Take the connecting plate, getting off the piece of metal, it's just stuck to it. Connecting plate. Bring it up. Now you can either do it with them opposite each other or move one out of the way. Put them on as any normal sinker plate would go on at the sides, look. Remembering there's 2 little divoty things there, one each side, that has to go into a hole, a recess in the carriage bed. And then tighten up, wobbling to check it's in the right place. And now, if everything's set up correctly, this should slide along and push together. Let me just see, is everything right? Can you see this one has a little lock here, the locking pin? That's what we need to operate when we get it off. Here, you see that? Flicking up unlocks it and will allow us to drop the bed using these to get the ribber off. In case you're wondering, there's a little cog here that you will hear go into these gate pegs, sinker plate pegs, whichever you want to call them, as you work. So don't worry about that. The last part of our setup is altering the angle of the mast. So we take out the mast, put in this little device that's found in the case, slide it in and replace the mast at the new angle. Lock it in place. We are now set up, the whole machine, ready to go. And that is how you set up your KR230 and the KH230 brothers together to start knitting and ribbing. We're going to put safely the screwdriver We're going to do a test piece in a moment on another video, so please join me for that. Please watch. Please like, subscribe, share and give me a comment so I know you're there. Let me know if this has been helpful. Watch out for the next video, another one that's coming as well, which is going to be a comparison between the 230 setup and the 260 setup, because there's a few differences. Thanks for watching, everybody.